The winter that I restored this bike, I had no idea how much I was going to enjoy it or how long. That was many years ago, and today is just one more day I'm going to enjoy this Ninja. Now we're in a part of the year already where you never know. You get up in the morning, it could be freezing cold, and sometimes it's cold, you got to go back in and get an extra sweater or get the, in the worst case, get the electric jacket out. But it's going to be beautiful today, bright sun all day long. I want to get out on the open road because there's a reality to everything in this part of the country. You get this beautiful, 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 the leaves are changing and everything, and all of a sudden one day you wake up and there's snow on the ground. And if you're a long-term subscriber to the channel, you know about some of the rides we made when the roads were snow-covered and ice-covered, and Joe Roselli took this picture. I thought this was a pretty funny picture. I love to see that in the middle of the summer. Anyway, time to pre-flight the bike. I know people don't agree with me. I get emails all the time. Hey, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that. Well, I do. A lifetime of being involved in aviation. I'd rather be safe than sorry every single time. And the other thing, a lot of people don't wipe their bike off, clean the bike, polish the wheels. Hey, we could still be friends, no problem at all. But I like my bike polished when I go for a ride. I like it when it's polished in the garage. Yeah, I like it clean all the time. And we're in a very special time of the year where the leaves are falling and they wind up in a radiator and everything. It's just, that's the way it is in this part of the world. Now, getting out on the road early, when it's this nice, this early, this is going to be a spectacular day. This is going to be one of those days you want to remember for a long time. Doesn't look like there's any clouds in the sky. There's still some nice leaves on the trees. And the fish are kind of in hibernation already. We aren't even feeding them anymore. And the big thing, if I don't feed these birds in the morning, you can't imagine. They use my car for target practice. They poop all over the car in appreciation. Time to ride. Before I restored this bike, I wanted to be totally certain I was going to be happy with the bike. I had ridden it on a track for several years. I had 2 of them, so I had plenty of spare parts. And I wanted to be sure that the 500 hours I spent was not going to be when I was all done. I had a bike I didn't really enjoy. And I know people that have restored a bike they've never even ridden, and they don't know if they're going to enjoy it. You're kind of rolling the dice here. But I lucked out on this one. I really love it. And I had painted model airplanes with similar color combinations and trim combinations, so I was kind of convinced that that would work out for me. And I knew for sure, one thing I knew for sure, this bike suited my needs to a T. Among the things I like about it, it feels a lot lighter than it is when you're riding it. It's very nimble handling with the 16-inch front wheel, and it turns in very, very predictably and nicely. I have the forks low at about 1 inch. With the lowered forks and the 16-inch wheel, a bike just turns in like it's a bicycle. It really is a light, very, very light feeling bike. And that's one of the characteristics I like even from the racetrack. as the years have gone by, I realized the time I spent, and it was a whole winter, roughly 500 hours. To me, that was just a wonderful investment. Of course, I will have this bike till the day I die. I don't buy and sell bikes. I'm pretty much done buying bikes, in fact, and restoring them. I just want to ride them now. And now that I have this very humble collection of motorcycles, I have the choice of riding pretty much a different bike every day of the week. Have people ask me, you know what model is this? What year did Kawasaki make this? So I know I've hit it pretty close to what I wanted. It looked like Kawasaki made it. Over the years, I've had many different mufflers on the bike, and I settled on the Muzzy, and every time somebody rides behind me, the first comment they make is, "Oh, I love the sound of that bike," and I do too. I think the video of polishing the swing arm on this bike, I have to check every once in a while. I can't believe the thing had over 100,000 hits, and I don't know why. It's a polished swing arm. And just relaxing on the back roads, this is just one of the nicest parts of every ride. I try to always include some cruising on the back roads. There's some nice farms in this area. There's actually a couple of horse farms. But boy, there's still enough leaves on the trees to make this a very, very scenic and nice day. And of course, the thing that allows me to have some peace of mind while I'm riding on these remote areas where the law enforcement can be sporadic. Hey, look at a house off of the lake here. The Valentine radar detector. Wow. Have I ever gotten my money's worth out of the Valentine? Unless you saw the video of putting this bike together when it was, well, it had the red bodywork. And we did all the paint work. And if you knew how much time went into making that seat cowl in the back, that seat cowl, that is a labor of love. There is just, I can't even imagine. And unless I look back at the video, I don't even remember how many videos it took to make that. But in the end, it's one of the defining parts of the bike, and one of the parts that when you park it next to a stock one, you go, ooh, that's a lot nicer. Really nice features of the bike, and these are little bonus things that I think are just, you don't, when you're restoring a bike, you don't realize how important they are. But the fairings go on and off very easily. The maintenance on the bike, the general maintenance, getting that thing's very, very easy, including a starter. There's a lot of little things that just make the overall ownership of the bike a lot more fun than when you have a bike that's a pain in the neck. come up on 40,000 miles. 40,000 miles, and that engine is so bulletproof, doesn't burn a drop of oil, starts on the coldest day of the winter. What a jewel, what a jewel. And having a decent sized gas tank and getting decent mileage, usually a little over 45, just a little cherry on a Sunday, makes me happy I did this restoration. And boy, this day went by like a smooth cup of coffee on a cold day. And we're little by little, again, I say we're little by little, we're losing the summer to fall, and it's going to be getting cold, real cold, before you know it. But having this bike keeps me thinking of things on a day when I open that day up and I see there's snow out on a driveway. I'm going to be glad I got all these rides in. And speaking of the rides, it's time to turn around, hit good old Route 80 and tough it out. Get home to Karen and the farm and see what's cooking back at the farm. What a beautiful day this turned out to be. Oh, look at the sky. Not a cloud in the sky. It just couldn't be nicer. So I hope you did enjoy sharing this day with us, sharing a ride. And guys, one and all, thank you so much for watching.